Bloom News Brief. More info at fullandbloom.com. Revolver magazine's new fall 2021 issue features an in-depth interview with Metallica's Kirk Hammett, who looks back on the band's Black album. The conversation took several twists and turns, including some digressions that didn't make print, on trying to get Nirvana to open the 1992 Metallica Guns N' Roses stadium tour. I remember having to call Kurt up because we wanted Nirvana to open up the Guns N' Roses Metallica tour. This came down to me from my manager saying, okay, we've talked to Nirvana's management. They've told us no. Kurt doesn't want to do it because he doesn't want to be affiliated with Guns N' Roses. He doesn't approve of Axl's behavior. A long laundry list of stuff, and it's all about Guns N' Roses and Axl. It had nothing to do with Metallica. They loved Metallica. I had a personal relationship with Kurt and Chris Novoselic and Dave Grohl. So I called him up. I talked to him 2 or 3 times, and the first time he gave me his reasons, all of which I just told you. But he said he'd think about it. I remember calling him a few days later. Courtney Love answered. It was weird because she went to go get Kurt, and I could hear her jabbering in the background. And then Kurt comes on, and he's like, oh, I really don't want to do it. I wouldn't feel right. It wouldn't feel comfortable. I'm like, okay, I get it. I called him once more just to double check to make sure he didn't have a change of mind, and then fast forward to the MTV Music Awards. Lars and I were there. Nirvana played. Axl was there. I think some of the guys in Guns N' Roses were there. I was sitting there talking to Kurt backstage, and all of a sudden, fucking Axl walks up, sees me, and looks at Kurt. And I'm like, oh no. And he goes right up to Kurt and says, what's your problem, motherfucker? And so Kurt's like, whatever, dude. And Axl's like, I'll fucking beat your ass. Come on, let's go. And Kurt's just like, whatever, dude. And then Axl backed up and Stephanie Seymour was there. She put her hand on his arm and kind of calmed him down. And he was like, fuck you, I'll kick your fucking ass. And Kurt's like, whatever. Axl stormed off and Kurt looked at me and I was like, bro, that was fucking crazy. And Kurt's like, man, I don't know, that guy's nuts. And I was so shaken up, I said, Kurt, man, I'm really sorry. I gotta get out of here, man. He's like, yeah, man, that was just weird. At another point, I was just standing, minding my own business, and then Axl fucking shows up again and says to me, what's up with your fucking friend? I go, I don't know what's up, man. You guys have to work it out. And he goes, yeah, well, I'll fucking work it out with him. I was like, please, man, it's between you guys. I don't know what's up with him. I don't know what's up with you. You guys, please, just work it out. And I was just being my usual apolitical self. I'm trying to just talk all this down, all this fucking confrontation. And somehow I felt like I was just fucking caught in the middle of it all rather innocently. It was just a weird fucking place to be. The Revolver feature also includes Kirk Hammett talking about hanging with Nirvana before Nevermind was released, how Guns N' Roses changed as they became more successful, and how Faith No More ended up taking the place of Nirvana on the tour. A link to the feature can be found in the description.